When you're a solopreneur, it's very important for you to know how to use your tech tools in your business. The problem is you may not have the time to really evaluate a tool before you use it, or you just set your tech tools up but don't really use all of the features and you picked it because someone recommended it to you. This isn't your field of expertise, but that's okay because I am truly a tech geek and I love what I do. So that works in your favor because I spend my time learning all the things you need to know and I want to share them with you. That's one of the reasons I created the Mighty Society membership. But today I want to talk about how you can choose the right tools for your tech stack so that you can create business systems that work efficiently and save you time. Welcome to the Mind Your Time podcast with Shannon Baker. I'm your coffee-loving host and the CEO of a boutique consulting company where I work with purpose-driven women like you who have tight schedules and an aversion to technology. But they're ready to get organized and create business systems so they can leave overwhelm behind and get things done. I strongly believe that being busy is not a badge of honor. We just need to be more intentional with our time and create success on our own terms. So grab your cup of coffee, some sparkling water, or pour a glass of your favorite wine, and let's dive into today's topic. I know there are so many tech tools available today that picking the right one for your business can be hard. And let me tell you, it's next to impossible to find that one perfect tool. So we need to focus on building the right tech stack that is going to support you in the way that your business operates because there is not one tool in existence that is going to do everything. Most of us started our businesses knowing what we wanted to do, but we didn't really know that we needed systems. So we hit the ground running and we focused on marketing and sales, right? And those are necessary, obviously, because you need and want to make money. But it doesn't matter how good you are at your marketing or how much money you're bringing in if it's leaking out of the back end because you don't have the right systems in place. So you may have DIY'd a lot of things in your business, especially some of those major systems if you even have any. And those systems may not be as efficient as you would like. So instead of you having a business that runs like a well-oiled machine, it's pretty much duct taped together. But that is only going to work for a short period of time. And while you're an expert at what you do, you may not know everything that you need to run your business. Then sometimes we know what we need, but we don't know how to access it or exactly what we're supposed to do to move forward. And that's okay. That's why we pay someone to help us learn those things. It's also another one of the reasons I created the Mighty Society. When it comes to creating systems, every business is different. No blueprint or cookie cutter solution is going to work. And if figuring out where to start creating your back office systems isn't your strong suit, you need someone that can guide you along the way and help you when you get stuck. Now, I found that creating systems can be really overwhelming because you may not necessarily know what tools to use or how to properly integrate them into your workflow. But let's start by talking about your business operations because that's the glue that keeps everything together and working well. It's all the pieces that get your business to run like a well-oiled machine. Now, before we dive into talking about building your tech stack, let's discuss some technical terms that are related to your business systems because these are words that you hear a lot in the space of business operations. One is your process. A process is a sequence of tasks in step-by-step order to accomplish a specific goal, and it can contain several workflows. So that will be like client onboarding, client offboarding, your content creation, podcast management, scheduling appointments, those things. The great thing is you can document your processes as a checklist. You can also do a screen recording with something like Loom as you complete routine tasks. Or you can simply record yourself or make an audio recording and get that transcribed to be your process. Now, if you want to start by creating your processes as a checklist, then I have a full episode that will walk you through the process step by step. I'm going to put a link to that in the show notes. The next word is workflow. A workflow is a collection of data rules, and tasks that need to be completed to execute a process in a predictable manner. For example, what happens after a prospect contacts you online, sends you a DM, or sends you an email about your services? What happens when a client signs a contract and makes a payment? They should get an automatic email that's sent. That will be your welcome kit. That's all a workflow. When you put these together, then you get a system. A system is 3 parts that work together to perform a specific task. So it's the step-by-step process. You have the tools that automate steps, and then for the things that are left, it's the person completing those steps. Now, there are 6 core systems that every business needs, and every system contains multiple workflows. And I'm going to talk about those 6 core systems in next week's episode. So let's put this all together. Workflows are the building blocks of processes. A system is all of it put together, and it produces consistent results. Now, when it comes to building systems, the process starts with a documented process. This is the roadmap that you need to identify where you can add in automation. But before you start choosing your tech tools, you have to have in mind what you are trying to accomplish with this system. What is the end result that you want? Now, before I go further into this, I want you to know that I am technically agnostic. That means I do not believe that there is a single system or one-size-fits-all approach that works when it comes to picking your tools and building your tech stack. That's why you have to be forward-thinking when you're creating your systems, and you have to choose your tools and systems, the way the systems work, based on your individual system, not based on what works for someone else. So here's an example. When I'm helping a customer choose their email marketing platform, we look at a number of things outside of the cost. We map out the journey that we want the customer to take after they give up their email address, because it's very important. It's part of your customer relations. So when someone goes to your website and there is either a pop-up or a sign-up form on that web page for them to grab your freebie, what happens behind the scenes? Well, they're added to your email list, and they should start to receive some kind of welcome sequence. Do you want them to be tagged for a specific sequence on the back end? You don't want there to be 14 steps from beginning to end to accomplish your end goal, which should be for them to schedule a call with you or buy a digital product. So when you're looking at the email platforms you're considering, option 1 may be cheaper, but you may have to piece a bunch of things together to get the person where you want them to go. Now, option number 2 may cost you a little bit more, but instead of 14 steps, maybe there are 6 steps to get them where you want them to be. And then as you grow your list of email subscribers, you can keep your list clean with things like tags. And then when you have targeted email campaigns, everyone's organized already, so it makes it a lot easier for you. Now, if you go with the cheaper option now, think about what it's going to require for you to migrate over to a new platform later. We have to consider the time and effort that will be involved in that process. You also need to think about the features that you want now and what you're willing to work without. For instance, when I first started my business, I was using MailChimp, but over time, I needed something else. So I switched email platforms because I wanted to be able to create automations based on the action that my subscribers took. So if they clicked on a link, I wanted some tags to be added to that subscriber. That way, an additional sequence would be started, and this would happen automatically. I wasn't worried about my emails being all cute and pretty and including gifts or, this specific type of formatting. And that's why I decided to go with ConvertKit over Flowdesk or ActiveCampaign. But take it from me, this is not a cut and dry process. Not to mention, you need to evaluate your processes and your tools at least once a year. Because let's face it, things change a lot in a year. And sometimes those changes that your business has gone through forces you to have to change your tech tools so that your systems can keep up with your business. And one of the most important things that I want you to remember is you can't just set your systems up and forget them. And that's why the third C of streamlining is change. You need to change your habits and actually use your system so that you can continue to streamline it and make it more efficient. I also don't want you to go back to your old way of doing things when things get hard, or you're going to continue to work in chaos and lose time. Do not think that you have to do all of their systems at one time either. You can create them one at a time. You can make a plan to create at least one system per quarter. That means you'll have a minimum of 4 systems in a year. This gives you time to map out your process, select your tools, integrate your tools, and then you can start to use the system and get used to it. And then you move on to the next one. I mean, think about it. By the end of 3 months, you'll get used to using the system. You'll actually start to rely on it. You'll love the space that it gives you in your business, but that's only if it's set up correctly. And when you start picking tools, I recommend you start with the ones that have some kind of free tier, whether it's a free trial or a free version with limited features. That way you can kind of kick the tires a bit before you get fully invested and integrate that tool into your process. And then once you've tried it out, you can make an informed decision and move forward with building a total system, which will save you time if you actually use it. So let's do a quick recap. Before you start building your tech stack, you need to document your processes. Then you can create a visual workflow that includes the detailed steps. And from there, you can identify what steps can be automated, integrate your technology, and create a full system. And when it comes to choosing your tech tools, you need to think about the end result that you want and then work backwards. So evaluate your tools by the features that it offers, what you want now, and some that you even want to grow into in the future. And then once you start creating your systems, you don't or won't have to pull them apart and start integrating new tools. Most importantly, as you create your systems, document, and save the documentation in your central filing system for reference. So my goal with this episode was to help you get started with the process of creating your business systems, because I know it can be overwhelming. So if you would like for me to guide you through this process, then I would love to see you inside of the Mighty Society membership, because that's exactly what it's designed for. The templates, roadmaps, and resources inside are going to shorten the learning curve when it comes to creating your systems and save you time. It is a high-touch, done-with-you group mentorship experience to help you organize your business and support you in learning how to use your tech tools so that you can grow your business. I created it on a platform called Heartbeat, and it's accessible via the web. And there's a mobile app that you can put on your phone or tablet. And I did it that way because I wanted this membership to be in a space free from all the distractions and limitations that you experience with Facebook. Most importantly, I wanted everything that you need to be in one space that is private and easily accessible. Why? Because I want you to be very intentional with your time. So when you log in and you're ready to focus on your business systems, you can just go into the app and get things done without all those distractions. So if you'd like to know more about the Mighty Society membership, go to theshannonbaker.com/membership. And if you have any questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram at _ShannonBaker. Now, if you're wondering what some of the basic systems are that your business should have in place, then be sure to tune in to next week's episode, because I'm going to talk about the 6 core systems that every small business needs, no matter what stage of the journey you're in. I just want to thank you for tuning in this week. I hope today's episode was helpful, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it. So please feel free to DM me on Instagram at _ShannonBaker and let me know your thoughts. My goal is to help you enjoy your journey, because I know it's not easy, but there is strength in numbers. If you have any topics or ideas you would like for me to talk about on the podcast in the future, please make sure you reach out and let me know as well. I cannot wait to hear from you. So until next time, keep calm and streamline.